Here we go with the Monday Night Raw review. Yes, indeed. It's Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw. The review. The review is here. So, this show, of course, was an adventure. You know, one of the craziest things, the R-Truth and Tozawa rivalry for that 24/7 title. That really needs to end. It do. Because, I don't know, it's just bad now. Like, I guess it's getting to the point where that title can be taken off TV. It really could. Because R-Truth, he deserves to be fighting maybe for the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title. I mean, he's held championships before, so I think that's the path that they need to go to. They should really do that. We had Randy Orton versus Keith Lee versus Seth Rollins. This match was good. Keith Lee was being dominant. It was cool seeing Rollins tell Randy, like, hey, Randy, we supposed to be a team. And then Orton was like, nah, you go ahead and do it. I'm like, see, that's what we need, man. We need some laughter up in here. Because I was just like, you know, the whole thing with just them being so serious and doing all these serious angles with certain matches. Like, it's good to just see a match be funny, you know, throughout the match instead of so serious. But this match was cool. The crazy thing, they put Keith Lee through a table. He got up from that. He was still fighting back. Keith Lee was being dominant. I really believe Keith Lee should have won this match. He really should have won this match because he just beat Orton at Payback. So for him to lose, for him to not be facing Drew was kind of crazy. So the match ended with Keith Lee doing a big power slam to Rollins. I was like, whoa, he gonna win. He gonna win. But of course, Orton comes in and he RKO'd Keith Lee. But then the way he just went to Rollins, I was like, what the heck? What is he doing? It was just like a weird angle, but we're going to have Orton versus Drew again at Clash of Champions. So I was like, oh no. He didn't win at SummerSlam, so hopefully Drew be back in time to defend his title, which they said he will at Clash of Champions after receiving all those punts to the head. And another head scratcher, it was Mickie James versus Lana. I was like, why? It shouldn't be that way. Mickie James should be facing Asuka. So hopefully at Clash of Champions, it will be Mickie James versus Asuka. Or it could be Mickie James versus Asuka versus Mickie James versus Asuka versus Natalya. And I was saying for a fourth wheel, it could be Bianca Belair because, like, she's pinning Selena Vega. That should never happen. So hopefully we get to see that. And we also had Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. Hopefully this will be the last time that they face each other because they done fought each other like twice. And it was good that Dominic beat Buddy Murphy, but I was just like, not Rollins though. I was like, it's too early, it's too soon. He's still developing as a wrestler, but he has some good skills though. I will say he has some good skills. So him working with Rollins with a few matches has been good. But Seth Rollins got the victory on that. Gave him the curb stomp for the victory. It was a good match. Samoa Joe always had me laughing. He be funny. He be getting Byron all mad and stuff. And it's just funny seeing Samoa Joe do that, I'd be like, Joe, you gotta calm down, man. He be like, here we go, Byron. Here we go, Byron. I'd be sitting there like, oh my God, that's funny. Um, then we had with the Raw Underground, people beating up everybody. It was cool seeing Titus O'Neil there though. I was like, whoa, Titus O'Neil. He took out a couple superstars, but then he got taken out by this guy. This guy, he took him out, boy. He really did. And of course the Hurt Business was there, and it was Shelton versus Shelton Benjamin versus Apollo Crews, and I was like, all right, so they was fighting and stuff. Then they had some of Ronda Rousey's friends there as well. And I'm like, look, they can go. If they ever come to WWE or AEW or whatever, like, we know they will be champions. So that was something. And also we had a cool segment with Nia and Shayna. This was really, really good because Nia and Shayna as the Raw Women's Tag Team Champions is good for business, and they are funny. They can't get along with each other, but they'll get along to defend their titles and beat everybody. So their next challengers is the Riot Squad after they defeated the Iconics, and I was like, good. So the Iconics are now broken up, but I still think Nia and Shayna will beat the Riot Squad, though. I don't think the Riot Squad can handle Nia and Shayna. They just that much. They just so dominant. So I just think Nia and Shayna is gonna face each other. Which brings me to Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. So Randy Orton was talking to Aleister Black in the locker room. He was probably just planning out something to take out Kevin Owens. So Orton comes down, Kevin Owens, he comes down, and Joe was like, yeah, Kevin Owens, he's ready. You can look. I was like, yeah, Kevin Owens look ready, boy. Then out comes Aleister Black beating him up. He kicked him in his face. Then he did the black mass. Referee asking Orton, do you want to wrestle? He was like, yes. Ring the bell. Rung the bell. He chopped Orton like 2 times. Then Orton just gave him an RKO for the victory. I was like, wow. Like, Orton, like, yo, he got it made. Orton got it made for that. Orton planned that, though, boy. He really planned that. So I was just like, wow. But Keith Lee won his match against Dolph Ziggler. He was being very dominant. Dolph Ziggler had a couple of moves on Keith Lee, but I knew he couldn't keep him down. So Keith Lee did the big power slam for the victory. So I was happy about that, and I was like, good. So we had a 6-man tag team with the Hurt Business versus the Viking Raiders and Cedric Alexander. So the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and Bobby Lashley. So just to kind of quicken up this match, Cedric Alexander had pinned MVP. So the Viking Raiders got in the ring because they thought the Hurt Business was going to hurt Cedric. But MVP actually was showing him some support, like, hey, you beat me. But then when they came back from commercial, the Hurt Business was beating up Cedric. Now, they was beating up Cedric Alexander in the back, and out comes Apollo and Ricochet, and MVP was like, hey, I asked you to join us, and I'm just like, I don't think Cedric Alexander is going to join their group. So I was like, nah, he's really not going to join their group. But I mean, I don't know if he did. I guess that would be good, but I think in the long run he should just stay with Ricochet. They need to be a tag team. They are a tag team, but they need to face the Street Profits for the tag team titles. They deserve it. So Asuka came out with a segment, and she trying to figure out who she going to face. So out comes Mickey James and then Natalia. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, man, I know I said this earlier, but Oscar, it would just be cool to see Oscar and Mickey James. Oscar, Mickey James 1-on-1, but I know how they going to do. They going to throw, they probably going to throw Natalia in it. But look, throw in Bianca Belair because she really deserves it. She really do. It was a tornado tag team with the Street Profits and it was Angel God. I was like, oh my God. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I skipped that match because the Street Profits have beaten Andrade and Angel Garza so many times and they facing each other too many times. They need a new rival, so I skipped that match. And just to give a little bonus, Monday Night Raw review and kind of like a little bonus. I was watching the end of the clip. No, the end of OKC in Houston. Chris Paul did hit these two clutch 3-pointers, y'all. So now Houston and OKC is tied up 3-3. Chris Paul saved the day. It's a little bonus with the Monday Night Raw review because I skipped one match, so I was like, I'm gonna just add it to the review. But that is the end of my review for Monday Night Raw. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I still can't believe that Houston did not close the deal on the Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder with Chris Paul, Steven Adams, just crazy. So hopefully Houston will win, but if not, the Thunder will be facing the Lakers in the next round. Would be a crazy series. Probably favorite Lakers. This was a good edition of Monday Night Raw with some bonus. I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Woo!